Welcome back. In Lesson 11, we will go through John chapter 1, verse 5. First, I will read the Greek of the entire verse, and then we will break it down into smaller chunks. Ke to phos en ti skotia pheni, ke I skotia auphto ou katalaven. Let's start by looking at the familiar. You may recognize some of these words. We have seen ke, to, phos, en, ti, and auphto. So we already have a good start on this verse. Let's take a closer look at the first sentence. We know the first word, ke, is and. The second word, to, is in technical grammar a definite article. In common speech, it's the word the. That's what the definite article means. It just means the. The to version here is the neuter gender, identifying the next word, phos, as a neuter noun. Phos is light. Remember to think of photon, photography, or photosynthesis as words that will all come back to this Greek word for light. So, to phos, the article and the noun together, is the light. We know the next word, en, which is the little word that could, is in English. The next word is another definite article. T is the feminine version of the. The word the here indicates that the next word, skotia, is a feminine noun. Skotia means darkness. Mnemonic devices or memory devices are very helpful for remembering vocabulary. One method is to think of an image that corresponds to the word. With skotia, I think of a dark rain cloud in Scotland. Scotia for Scotland. The article the always agrees with the gender of the noun that it is attached to. So we have in this sentence a neuter article noun agreement in to phos and a feminine agreement with ti scotia. Pheni is the verb for this sentence. It means appear or shine. We have this word in English in phenomenon and phantom, things that appear or shine. Let's run through this sentence now. Ke, and, to, the, phos, light, en, in, ti, the, scotia, darkness, pheni, appears. Literally, and the light in the darkness appears, or more colloquially, the light appears in the darkness. In Greek, the verb can really appear anywhere in the sentence, whereas in English, we have more fixed rules about verb order. Here's the second sentence of this verse. Ke I skotia auphto ou katalaven. There's ke again, meaning and. The I skotia, which we saw in the previous sentence, the darkness, the feminine article, and the E matches the feminine noun scotia. Auphto is it. The ou means not, referring to the verb katalaven. Katalaven is overcome. So if we string it together, ke and I, the, scotia, darkness, auphto, it, ou, not, katalaven, overcome. Let's smooth it out. And the darkness did not overcome it. I will pull up the full verse and we will look at 2 grammar points. So let's first look at the scotia article noun agreement. In the first sentence, we had ti scotia. In the second sentence, we have I scotia. Notice how the word the changed in these 2 sentences. It is ti in the first sentence and I in the second sentence. Both are attached to scotia and both are feminine. So why does the article, the word the, change in the 2 sentences? In Greek, the word the changes to match the case of the noun, whether it's a subject, direct object, or indirect object. In English, the word the is always the. However, in Greek, The article the will switch to show if it is a subject, direct object, or indirect object. In the first sentence, the word the, t, is in the prepositional phrase en ti skotia, in the darkness. En ti skotia is a prepositional phrase in both Greek and English. In Greek, the switches to match the fact that it is within the prepositional phrase. It is an indirect object here. Technically, this is called the dative case, but we won't get bogged down in grammar at this point. Just know it's a prepositional phrase initiated by en. In the second sentence, the word the is a subject, e skotia. E is the for the feminine subject. We can see the feminine article in the subject form, e, in the second sentence, and the feminine article in the prepositional phrase in the first sentence, t. Well, it might seem strange that the word the changes based on what it's doing in the sentence. English used to have multiple forms of the word the as well, but English grammar smoothed out during the latter medieval period. German today still switches the way that Greek does for the word the, so it is actually common among many languages for the article to switch its form based on the case that it's in. English grammar has just simplified. The other grammar point to note here is the aufto. This word translates to it. Aufto here is in the neuter case, so it must link back to the neuter noun. And the other word in this verse that is in the neuter noun form is phos, with the matching neuter article to. To phos is the light. Notice how to has the same ending as aufto. So this is a good example of how these agreements are helpful, because we know this neuter it, aufto, must relate back to the matching neuter subject, to phos. Now let's run through the whole verse. Ke, and, to, the, phos, light, en, in, t, the, skotia, darkness, pheni, appears, ke, and, e, the, skotia, darkness, aufto, it, u, not, katalaven, overcome. And to put it in English word order, and the light appears in the darkness, and the darkness did not overcome it. We have to add the word did here to smooth it out in English, but otherwise, there it is. And that's John chapter 1, verse 5.